ultimately reflects how they feel about themselves. Abuse, which comes in many different forms: physical, emotional, mental, and one of the things that they rarely like to talk about, sexual. And then the most greatest one of all is ignorance, which is what? Simply what? What is ignorance?
Ignore
it.
it.
Lack of knowledge. Just man, just some information, man. If I had some real information, you know what I'm saying, it would make a big difference in my life. And then good old flashing neglect. You know, this is why people get so immersed in drugs. From one of these forms of pain that has occurred in their lives, and that helps us to walk them back down to the heart lesson where we had started out talking about how a person is damaged from the contradictions that have happened in their life. So now here we are, we looking at him, he's thinking, man, I can't believe this. Yeah, believe it. And from this lesson, one of the things that really helps to jumpstart this, to take this to the next level, is helping them to get or wrap their mind around the progression of chemical dependence. So now after you get this, I mean, this, if this hits them, you have some aha moments in your classroom. I mean, I've had kids that have went, man, I never looked at it like this. And when they look at it like from this perspective, it helps them to really begin that what I talked about earlier, that reevaluating process. Because that's what we want them to do, is to begin to reevaluate the choices and decisions that they're making concerning drug use. So now, when you look at this next piece on the progression of chemical dependency, we have to look at it from this perspective, look at it and help them to understand that addiction happens in what? Stages. You know what I'm saying? So a person doesn't go from using today and being a dope fiend tomorrow. The stages look like this: use, misuse, abuse, and dependency or addiction. They're interchangeable, meaning the same thing. You try to get them to help them to understand that this is a process, that a person doesn't go from use to dependency overnight, that it happens from one stage to the next. And eventually, this will happen if a person continues to keep engaging in the drug use. Now, I already created, here you go, a chart for you to help you to understand this and some of the things that happen, in the different stages. Because what you want to do, you pass this out, but then you also write a few of them up here in the stage on the board, because now it takes a life of its own when they see it in big bold letters. When they begin to see it up here on the board, when they begin to see that in the recreational use, I use with my peers, family. The things that influenced me the most during this period is the media, radio, music, TV, movies, all these things that kind of cause me to say, damn, I wonder if it might be all right, you know what I'm saying? Because Lil Wayne get high. You know what I'm saying? Lil Wayne smoke weed, Lil Wayne the millionaire. You know? And I most of the time what I try to get them to understand is that's Lil Wayne gimmick. You know what I'm saying? That's part of his show. Snoop Doggy Dogg, that's part of his show. That's what Snoop do. Snoop is selling a product, and that product is himself. And if he was coming to you telling you, all right, Shuddy, don't smoke no weed, don't, be drug free. Now it might have a good effect now because Snoop is well known, and a lot of individuals might listen to him. But when Snoop was starting off, Snoop couldn't be talking that. Snoop was selling Snoop. And if Snoop had to come on stage with his pants hanging off his butt and smoking weed and that was part of his gimmick. Yes, sir.
I was just gonna say, you get a lot of that. You always get a Snoop, a Wayne, or somebody.
Yeah, you do.
But a question I pose to them is, how many people do they know that smoke marijuana to do nothing? Everybody's eyes get big right away before they even respond, because they know way more people that are unsuccessful, that are in pain, that are doing nothing, than they know a Snoop Dogg or a Wayne.
I do one even better than that. How you doing? Right. What you doing?
That may cause some blemishes.
All right. You know what I'm saying? And when I go there though, Mr. Ward, this is what I get. Oh, Mr. Arnold, you bogus. No. But see, you want to put yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? You can't go big head with me. You know, the reality of it all is this, is that this is serious. You understand? You can't be bringing up fictional characters, that you don't know nothing what's going on in their real life. Once that man gets off stage, that man probably go back there. Man, I mean, it's already documented that he's a involved father with his child. You think parents are allowing him stand on the sideline smoking blunts while he coaching their football team?
Another one I let them know
Come on, now.
is that Wayne has been in rehab and he's been incarcerated.
He's been in prison,
and
yeah.
That has something to do with the drug use, decision making.
T.I.
T.I.
About to lose everything.
Exactly.
Because he can't stop getting high.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, realistically.
Yeah.
So this, one of these things is what also here in this stage, what begins to onset is denial. And we've already denoted what it means. Don't notice I am lying. So now it's starting to move to this next stage. Because over here, most of the time, my drug use was what? Most of the time it was free. All I had to do was just show up. I walk up on the block, they getting high, I'm getting high. You know, what's up? Oh man, come on man, you my man, So now, in this next stage, what happens is this, is that I start spending my own money. Because now I'm spending my lunch money. You know what I'm saying? As much as I like those lunchroom hamburgers, you know what I'm saying? Now, them lunchroom hamburgers gonna have to wait because I gotta hook up. I'm gonna hook up with my boy, little Nook and Lil Ray, and we gonna put our little lunch money together. We gonna get us a dub, and we gonna sit back, we gonna smoke us some blunts, and we gonna be chilling. You know what I'm saying?
They get seven now.
They get seven. So now as a result of this moving or changing to this next stage, what begins to happen is this, is what I like to term as minor problems in their lives. And those minor problems affect different areas in their lives. At home, now I'm starting to have arguments with my parents because I don't want to do my chores. I'm talking back. I'm sassing. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing them a favor living in their house. So now, I'm always, having problems with them because, she want me to come in at 9 and I ain't coming in to 10. So, she tripping. So now this then starts to affect this place called school. Well, I'm supposed to be going to get an education, but you know what? I ain't got time for that because they own something, and I ain't got time for that. So that child don't understand that homework and all those things are important. Then started to have problem with the law. Now, as a result of having problems with the law, I started having problems with curfew and those kind of things be happening as well. So my character begins to change, and I started to do these kind of things. I started lying, stealing, and I don't mean necessarily stealing, from society at this point, but stealing from my family. I'm stealing my presence, my involvement, my engagement in my family. I started cheating people. I started, manipulating. Manipulation started to set in. So all these things began to set in my life. And then as a result of these things, the denial becomes even larger because these people are tripping. At home, they don't understand me. At school, they don't like me, and the law is always on me. So now, then over here, the problems become major now. So these major problems now began to affect these same areas of my life, my home life, school life, and with the law. And in other words, at home, my parents are always talking about kicking me out and putting me out, but they watching the clock because they can't put me out till I'm 18. But the conversation always comes up. At school, they actually kicked me out. They showed me the front door, gave me some paper, say, hey, you know what, take this show to their alternative school setting. Maybe they want to deal with you. And then the law, they lock them up. And then these behaviors, they begin to worsen. So they began to get worse with the lying, the stealing, the cheating. You don't ever know when he's telling the truth now. So people really don't, his old associates and people like that really don't want to have nothing to do with him. And then when they continue to fall off into addiction, into dependence, and I'm sure, unfortunately, some of us have actually worked with adolescent dependents. We've seen that, what happens is this. They lose or loss of everything. No family, no friends, no real friends. You know what I'm saying? No freedom. And they feel hopeless, no choice, and the hopelessness begins to set in. And once that sets in, it's only two paths that they can take. And those paths are either suicide, and I unfortunately have seen that happen, or recovery. And in order for recovery to happen, that child now has to come out of what? Out of what? Denial. And start working on being honest and telling himself the what? The truth. Because we always say that the truth do what? Set you free. So you know what? That's the simple mechanics of this exercise. I want to thank you all and say good night.